Hey guys, welcome to the sustainability lesson. There are so many different aspects of sustainable design, and while we wanted to make this video about 8 hours to teach you all about all of them, we thought you might not like that. So we are going to keep it short and sweet. We'll be talking about location, orientation, renewable resources, and our treasured non-renewable resources. We'll be hearing more about all of this from our sustainability expert, Miss Lauren Meister, and I am going to pass it on over to her. All right, I hope you guys enjoy.
So all of our energy is coming from two different sources. It's either renewable or non-renewable energy. So with non-renewable energy sources, we have coal and oil and a whole bunch of stuff that will be used up at some point. And that's why it's called non-renewable.
So we want to stay away from that
Yeah,
stuff,
we
right?
want to stay away from that stuff because we don't want to use those sources to a point where we are relying on it so much and then we don't have it available anymore. So that's why more recently we've come up with renewable sources of energy. And with that, that includes energy we've gained from the sun, energy from wind, and from water. And so what you may see as you're driving around the city or other parts of the country is that to collect solar energy, we have what are called solar panels, and they collect energy from the sun, and they're on top of roofs. And if you go to the Cincinnati Zoo, it's even on the parking structure that's over all of the cars when you guys are walking into the space.
I love that. It keeps my car nice and cool while I'm at the zoo.
And then another source of renewable energy, like I mentioned, is wind energy. And with that, we can collect that through windmills. And you may see those as you're, like in some areas close to Cincinnati, there's windmills as you're going into Indiana. They have a whole bunch of windmills as you're driving through that state. And you can see them spinning, and as they're spinning, they're collecting that energy like you would for a little pinwheel that you're just blowing yourself to like watch it spin. So that's kind of the same effect that these windmills are doing.
Now that we know more about energy sources, say we are using coal and we are using oil, we're using non-renewables, is there a way that we can use less of them? Or what can we do to make sure that we're not depleting those as quickly?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things we can do to try to minimize how much energy we're using either at home or when we're out and about at other public places. Like in a lot of office buildings, there's energy saving techniques just with lights turning on and off, where you can have sensors that when someone walks into a room, the light turns on. You guys may also see this if you're going in the grocery store with mom and dad, that if you go down the freezer aisle, the lights turn on. That's always pretty fun.
Game.
So, yeah, that's like a sensor that shows, that turns on when it recognizes someone is actively using the space. And then when it sees nobody is in the space anymore, they turn off automatically. So that's a easy way that some buildings have started to maintain their energy through lights. Yeah, and then another way that you guys can conserve energy even at home, there's a few different ways you can do that. Making sure that when you leave a room and you're going to be out of that room for a while, that you turn off the lights, because you don't need lights on in a room if you're not using it. So just being mindful that when you are leaving a space, that you can just make sure that you've got stuff turned off that you're not actively using, whether it's lights or a TV or other electrical equipment that you're not using at the time.
When we go to build a building, there are a lot of things that we can do while we build it. So we talked about having automatic lights, the different sources of electricity, but there's another huge thing that comes in the way that we build, and it's where we're building. So it actually makes a huge difference for the environment, just depending on where we put a house or an office building. Do you want to talk a little bit about the orientation and how that comes into play?
Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. Um, so yeah, as Kristen was saying, the location of your house is very important, but also just how it's positioned on the site that you're working on. Since we're in the northern hemisphere in North America, we're getting sun coming in from the south. And with that, it's good if you orient alongside of your building that's facing the south with a lot of windows, because then you're getting more natural heat coming into the building um, rather than using systems like your heating systems for the house to make up all of that heat. You're kind of using the natural heat energy from the sun to heat your house a bit. And then by also facing it to the south, you're getting so much natural light in. So then throughout the day, you're able to um, like not use as many light bulbs or other fixtures in
Right.
your house, because then you're just relying on the sun coming in. And honestly, that like feels really nice when you can just like recognize it's daylight outside
Yeah.
and you can
Good for our natural systems.
exactly. So that's a really important thing when thinking about how to position your building, is how to take advantage of just some of the natural elements while building your structure.
So when you guys go to build your structure this year, we're going to ask you to put a north, south, east, west compass on the base of it, and that's so we know what the orientation is. So that's an important thing to keep in mind, is how you are going to orient your own structure once you build it. The other thing is how close it is to its surroundings. So do you want to talk a little bit about how that just impacts how sustainable a building is?
You can build next to like a water feature or with shading around it, but you don't want to try to be getting rid of a whole lot of trees in the area, because that's really hard for the environment.
So, when you guys are building your own structures, and very shortly, which you guys are almost there, um, we want you to do us a favor and only use things that already exist. So you guys are going to get to do this and show everyone how you can reuse things before you have to throw them into the recycling or into the trash can. So here at Design Lab and the Architectural Foundation of Cincinnati, we believe in being zero waste, which means putting as little into the landfill as possible. Our landfills are filling up. It's a huge problem for the people that live around them, and we want to do what we can to prevent that from happening and to kind of halt that problem. So one thing that we want you guys to do is start collecting things now, if you haven't already, to build your structure with. So things we've seen in the past are yogurt cups, those little pizza toppers, always are popular, bottle caps. Please don't use anything just so that you can put it in your in your model, but make sure that in your model you're not buying anything new and you're really being creative about what you're using for it. We love to see that creativity, and when it comes to jury time and us checking out those models to figure out who our award winners are going to be, that's something that we really look at. So have fun with that part and try to really enjoy using your materials wisely.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can use as well, from like cereal boxes to toilet paper rolls. There's like packaging to games that you may get around birthdays or Christmas time. Like, be on the lookout for all sorts of different stuff that you may be able to use to help put your building together.
Yes, yes, it's probably the most exciting part of the whole project, is figuring out what you can use to build your model. So now that you guys have a better understanding of what sustainable building is, you are ready for your next task. So for this task, we are going to have you guys build something for your model. How exciting is that? So we want you to take something that you learned today, do a little bit more research about it, since I did say we were keeping it really short and sweet for the video, and build it. So this might be a windmill, it might be solar panels, or you could even choose to do something that we weren't able to talk about today, like maybe something like a rain barrel, as long as you're doing enough research about that item to really understand how it works. As part of this task, we also want you guys to really start collecting those materials around your house or around your school, anything that you can get your hands on to start building your model. We are also going to be able to offer materials for some of our students, so that might be an option for you as well. And to give you guys an idea of just how many things go into sustainability that we weren't able to talk about today, I wanted to provide this table for you. And if there's something about it that really sticks out to you and really gets you excited to learn more about it, feel free to do research on that and build something based off of that research. We just want to make sure you guys are getting a chance to get your hands on building, because that's what this program is all about. So the next lesson that you guys are going to do is the financial lesson, and that is going to be the last video that you have from us. And I know financial lesson might sound kind of boring to you guys, but it's actually really fun. You guys are going to get to build your dream home. So get excited about that, and we will see you then. Can't wait.